Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 48 of Cameron's Nostalgia Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strickland. Today I have with me Jonathan Judge. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Now, for any of the guys who don't know, Jonathan is a director for Blue's Clues, LazyTown, the Naked Brothers Band, the Fresh Beat Band, Big Time Rush, the Thunderman School of Rock, and all that, and many more. And also the really loud house.
hmm Yeah, I've done all those. My first directing gig ever was Blue's Clues back in 1996.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of great actors and producers and writers in the kids and television world.
Nice. Let's start off with our first question. How did you get interested in filmmaking?
Well, I was always a kid who was playing with, my G.I. Joes or my action figures and playing out whole scenarios with them. I didn't start filming them until a little later, and making little movies with them. And then in high school, I wrote a lot for journalism and short stories, and I started to make videos instead of papers. And I did that in college a little bit too, but I didn't know I could be a director. I didn't know that that was a job. And one day I saw a movie with a friend. I said, "Oh, it'd be fun to make movies." And she said, "You should, you'd be great at it." And that changed my whole course in life. I started applying to film schools. I made a short film in New York City over the summer, and I used that to get into film school where I learned a lot about filmmaking. And then I just started working in New York City, doing whatever I could to work on films and commercials and TV shows and learn as much as I could as I tried to get my own stuff made.
Nice. So, what was your first directing gig?
My first directing was I took jokes. I like jokes, and I took jokes and I made them into mini movies. And those played in some festivals, and they also got picked up by HBO. And I made 24 short films for HBO. And I knew someone who worked at Blue's Clues, and I sent my reel that way, and I got hired on Blue's Clues.
Nice. So, you are the director for a short film called High Pants.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me what this short film is about?
It's based on an urban legend. You know what urban legends are, right? Those are stories that people hear and they've been told thousands of times, and they always seem to be true, but really they're made up. And it's about a gentleman. It stars Steve Burns, but it's about a gentleman who goes on a date and eats a bad burrito and has an accident in the bathroom and then tries to hide it from his date. It's a funny comedy short.
Nice. Moving on from the short films, you got to be the director for Blue's Clues.
Yes.
And do you have it behind the scenes footage or photos of Blue's Clues?
Oh, I'm sure I do somewhere. Not really behind the scenes footage, because back then your phones were not as good at cameras as they are now. Probably got some photos somewhere, a photo of me on the thinking chair with Joe. Um, but yeah, that was some of my first directing episodics. And I became good friends with Steve and Donovan. And then 5 years ago, I was asked to help find the next Blues Clues. So I was part of the casting that found the new host of Blues Clues, Josh. So all three are very good friends.
Nice. So he directed the first episode that he directed was Bugs,
Yes, you've done your research.
and he was on season 5, Up, Down, All Around, The Alphabet Train, Numbers Are Everywhere, and Me Polka Dots.
Yep.
And on season 6, he directed 2 episodes, Blue Swishes and Soccer Practice.
Oh, yeah. And then I went on to direct Blues Room, which was the puppet show version of Blues Clues.
Have you ever spoke to Coily Chanda?
Yep, I know Kweli really well. Kweli, and I did a lot of the episodes of Blues Clues.
And you got to meet Leslie Carrera Rudolph.
Love Leslie. Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to work with her on a few projects.
Do you have a favorite Blues Clues episode?
It's a really good question. I think Ants was really fun because we got to make Steve very small when he skidooed into the ant world, and we played around a lot with that, with him climbing over things and finding a penny, and that was as big as him, you know. So that was really fun. Um, and the Alphabet Train with Joe Donovan was really fun too.
Nice. So, do you have a behind the scenes footage or photos of Blues Room?
No, I don't. This is so funny that we're going back 98, 99, 2000. We're going back almost 25 years, so I don't really.
That's okay. Moving on from Blues Clues, you got to work on LazyTown.
Yes.
And what was LazyTown filmed?
It was filmed in Iceland. I lived in Iceland for about a year, over 2 years in 2004 and 2006. I ended up directing, almost half of the first group of episodes, and that was one of the most exciting and hardest shows I've ever done.
Do you have a favorite episode?
There's so many. I mean, LazyTown is such a cool show. I did, is it Dance Dreams, where Stephanie might have to leave? That was a really good one. Secret Agent Mayor was a really good one. There were so many great episodes of LazyTown. I really, really enjoyed working on that show and working with the crew in Iceland and the puppeteers who are from around the world, England, America.
Nice. Do you have a behind the scenes footage or photos of LazyTown?
I think on my website, if you go to my website, you could see some footage from LazyTown and how we did the effects and how we made it. So you could check that out. And if not, I can probably get you access to something.
You're gonna send me some Blues Clues photos.
If I can find some, I will try. Um, I can show you a photo real quick of LazyTown, a funny photo because I happen to have it on my phone. On my, oh, can I share?
Yes.
All right, if you let me host, I can share and show you a funny photo. All right. And this one. Can you see that one? Me
Yes.
holding up the giant wall. Yeah. That was a gag where Sporticus had to lift up a whole wall. And there's the skateboard, and it's being held up by invisible green wires. And so I got a photo of myself underneath pretending to pick up the wall.
Okay. You have worked on the Naked Brothers Band
Hmm.
as a director.
Yeah, and a producer. It's actually where I met my wife. She was the costume designer of the Naked Brothers band. And we first started working together and then fell in love.
And you got to work on the Fresh Beat Band.
I did the pilot for the Fresh Beat band when it was the Beatkins, and then it became the Jump Arounds, and then it became the Fresh Beat band. And yeah, I did a lot of the Fresh Beat band, and I'm still very good friends with the creators and all the actors in that show.
That's for the Lost Media.
Say that again.
That's for the Lost Media.
For the Lost Media? I don't understand.
Let me see.
I can share another here if um I will share. Here's a photo of me and the Fresh Beat team about to go sailing. There's Twist, Shout, Marina. Yep, we all went sailing one day, and I think that was in the first season. Those were our softball team shirts.
Okay. And you worked on Big Time Rush.
Yes, I did. I directed a lot of Big Time Rush, all the seasons. I was actually on Big Time Rush when my babies came and I had to leave set to go to the hospital for my twin boys to be born.
And what about the Thundermans?
Thundermans, I did a lot of episodes. Um, and I loved that show, loved being a part of that show. I think here's a picture of me directing on the season one finale of the Thundermans. Um, yep, that was when King Crab had captured um, our two heroes. It was a big episode, but I ended up doing the finale of Thundermans. Oh, I think like three or four times. We kept thinking the show was going to be canceled or not brought back. So we do a big season finale and then we would get more episodes. We ended up doing 100 episodes.
Nice. And you have worked on School of Rock.
School of Rock, yep. I did the pilot for that and helped change that from a movie into a TV show and worked with all those talented actors. I think we did two seasons of School of Rock, which was awesome. A lot of great songs.
And you got to work on all that.
All that was a blast, the reboot of all that. And I've done a lot of reboots. And yeah, I had so much fun working on all that. It was such a talented group of people and such funny scripts.
and you got to work on the really loud house.
That's what I've been doing. That's the last things I've been doing. Is the really loud house. Um, we did two movies and 40 episodes of the series, season one and season two, which you can see on Paramount Plus. And then the really haunted loud house movie and a really loud house Christmas, a really loud Christmas, I think it's called.
You're director for Sigma and the Sea Monsters.
That was my favorite show when I was 5 years old, so I got to reboot that with Sid and Marty Krofft, and that was a dream come true.
I wish Sid and Marty would be on my podcast.
You know, Marty passed away last year. Sid is still around. Sid has a podcast of his own. You should try to track him down.
Okay, you got to work on Fred Free, Camp Fred.
Yep, and the TV show Fred. He was one of the first YouTubers who became a star way back in 2006, 2007, 2008. And yeah, I did that was my first movie, Camp Fred, with Lucas Cruikshank.
You are a director for the Sprout Sharing Show.
Sprout, yeah, that was a long time ago. Kind of a Blues Clues like show with a puppet dog named Banjo, played by Allie Eisner. She's on Fraggle Rock now. She's a great puppeteer and talent and singer. And Milo.
What was Milo played by?
Oh my gosh, I knew you were going to ask me that. And a Milo, oh my gosh, he always, hold on, who played? You got to cut this out because I love this guy, but I haven't worked with him in a while. Milo on the Sprout Sharing Show. Let's see. Um, oh, the Sprout Sharing Show was the finger puppet show. Sorry, that's different. I was thinking of um the Sprout Sharing Show. Milo wasn't on that. I was thinking of the Let's Go show for Sprout. That had Allie as Banjo and Milo. Wow, the Sprout Sharing Show went on for a long time, I'm just seeing. That's amazing. Yeah, that was Kelly and Kevin and Forrest and Brandon. So many great people. Kelly Vrooman and I are still close friends, and we do stuff together.
You got to be the director in the Imagination Movers.
I know. I did the pilot for that in New Orleans and a bunch of episodes of season one. Those are great guys, very talented, great songs.
You directed the pilot
Of Imagination Movers, yes.
back in 2006.
Yep. I think they went on to do three seasons. I was on season one. Then I did Fresh Beat Band, and I was on Fresh Beat Band a lot.
And you got to work on Johnny and the Sprites.
With Johnny T, yeah, that was great. I only got to do two of those, but and then they were canceled. But that was such a wonderful show. And Johnny T is so talented, obviously, in doing so many different shows right now.
And you worked on Nick Jr.'s Play Along.
Yep, that was very fun. Travis Guba played Zach, Hillary, and I worked with a bunch of puppeteers, Joey, um, Joey and Heather, and they were great. They played two sock puppets each, so whenever there were four socks puppets, they had all their hands full.
There was Joey Mazzarino and Heather Ash.
Yep. Joey was the head writer of Sesame Street for many, many years. He does many of the great characters. He did Word on the Street. Very talented writer, performer, and puppeteer, and a good friend. He and I did a puppet musical episode of Life in Pieces on CBS, and Joey was part of that, which was great to get to do that with him again.
Nice. And you got to be the director in the short film called Bitch in the Kitchen.
That's my first short film. That's a joke, one of those jokes I told you about that ended up being on HBO. I shot it in my own house, my parents' house, and it's about a kid on Christmas morning who has a bit of a potty mouth.
And you got to work on another short film, Real Jokes.
That was so that the Bee in the Kitchen became the real jokes, which then became the HBO actual jokes, and I ended up doing those 24 short films that are all based on jokes.
Are you the monkey butler?
I am. In Camp Fred, he has a fantasy sequence where he hallucinates and thinks he has a monkey butler. That's me.
You directed a video letter for the Blues Clues episode called
Hmm.
Let's Plant.
Yep, where we went to the garden and we showed kids how they could plant things. Yeah, I did a lot of video letters. Each Blues Clues had a video letter, which was a great part of that.
What's the girl's name?
In that video letter, ooh, I do not know. That was a long time ago. Do you know?
I don't.
All right, I was going to say that would be impressive if you knew.
It was shot at the Everett Children's Adventure Garden
Mm-hmm.
at the New York Botanical Garden.
Yep, that was really nice. I can show you a photo of me as the monkey butler if you want it. I'll bring it up real quick. Yeah, let's see. Camp Fred was a great movie. Um, Here you go. Um, right there. That's me as the monkey butler.
Nice.
I've had a lot of fun jobs.
I think I'll record a video
All right. Were we recording that?
on my iPhone.
Okay. I have to finish up. I have to help my son outside. Did I answer all the questions you had?
Alright, to wrap us up, I
Okay.
have to record a video
All right. Let's do it.
on my iPhone.
Letter from our friends.
Let's go. This is how water moves up a plant. This is the seed. This is the petals.
Bye.
All right, are you ready to record?
I just did.
All right. So you got everything you need?
This is how water moves up a plant.
Oh, okay. That's what you were recording?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any more questions or are we all wrapped up?
What was it like working on with two kids at a garden?
Oh, it was great. I mean, you're outside. You're always on a, tight schedule when you're working, on film and with kids, but we just got to go around and hang out and play in the garden and that's awesome. I love being outside and I love being with kids, so that was great.
Nice. And what are their names?
I could not tell you. I'm so sorry. That was 20, 30, 28 years ago for me.
Was it Courtney?
Could have been. Okay, I know you need help. Cameron, my son needs my help outside. Are there any other questions or can we finish up?
Before finishing up, I got a couple of Steve's friends. Could it be Olivia?
The kids in the video?
Yes.
I don't know. I'd have to watch the video. I'm sure they say their names in it. Yes, please. I'm not sure. I'm sorry I can't give you that information. But I do have a little my my son's washing the car and he got all wet and I need to go help him. So I think I'm gonna have to go, Cameron.
Alright. Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for your time.
Cameron, thanks for calling me up and talking. It was great meeting you, and I look forward to seeing the podcast.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, just that I have the best job in the world. I get to make television for kids and families, and I don't know what else I would be doing because I love it. So thank you.
Nice. Stay tuned for there'll be more guests coming up. Until next time, peace.
Peace. Thank you.